Thanks for sticking with us here on Good Morning Vail. Now, for all of you pet owners out there, you know how important it is just to keep our furry animals and any animals really healthy and well taken care of. And to do just that, we have our wonderful friends here at On-Site Veterinary Services in Eagle. And I've got Dr. Susan O'Brien here, owner, founder of this amazing practice, to tell us a little bit about all the wonderful work that they do here and to just share her passion for animals. Dr. Susan, thank you for joining us this morning. Tell us a little bit about your practice. It's a privately owned practice. You started this not too long ago, 2021, I want to say, 2021. So tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of the history behind this practice and what really inspired you to do this.
Yeah, so I have been a veterinarian for 13 years. I have been in the Valley as a veterinarian for 8 years. The practice started as a mobile practice, so I went to people's homes and ranches and took care of animals there. And really, what was so special about that is that, especially the small animals, cats in particular, and birds and exotics, they were comfortable, they weren't anxious, they didn't have to travel. And I think that helped me develop a model for this practice. And today is actually our second birthday. We opened 2 years ago today. And so with this practice, what I wanted to make it feel like was someone's home. There's so many times where they have to come in, or it's even convenient with multiple animals for the owner. But we wanted it to feel comfortable for the animal and design it that it felt like they were going into someone's home. So that's how we founded this practice, much off the mobile model, to be something here that's a little bit more comfortable. And we still do the mobile services, and we see a lot of large animals. Our reindeer patients were actually here yesterday for a visit with Santa Claus, and we love that part of the practice. We are all over the Valley, so we're East Vail to up Colorado River Road, so quite a distance, and then we're here at the hospital as well. Yes.
And I love that because as soon as we walked in, you can just feel exactly what you mentioned, that cozy environment. We walked through some of the spaces which you all will get to see, and they've just created such an awesome environment here that kind of, I think your goal from what you were kind of saying is to kind of reduce stress for owners and pets alike, because it can be a little stressful sometimes, and you've created such just a wonderful, relaxing space, and I love that you all do that. Now, we've got Trudy here with us today, and I know that you also are very involved in the community and stuff, so tell me a little bit about that, because we might get to see you out and around the community, aside from all the work that you do here.
Yes, thank you. So Trudy is a 16-year-old kitty cat. She was a surrender at the shelter. We believe so strongly in our geriatrics, just having a full and like treasured life. So when we hear of an older kitty being at a shelter, we have such a home feel here and we're here so much that it makes sense to have a clinic kitty. So we started with Gail, who was 17 years old, and we adopted her from the Rifle Animal Shelter. And she was our flagship old lady, and we made a way to honor her to always have an older kitty cat in our hospital. So Trudy has just been with us 4 days, and we are all absolutely in love with her, and she is just gonna contribute to our happiness greatly. I like to do anything I can in the community. So with the shelters, we participate however we can. With Santa Claus, yesterday we asked for donations of things that they needed: paper towels, non-clumping cat litter, treats for dogs and cats, and we have a SUV full, which is incredible. So to help our friends there as much as we can, that's something that we really believe in. And then I'm involved in the Gypsum Chamber of Commerce as the board president, and anything we can do to help kind of elevate small business owners and network people that can just help one another in this valley, we're going to keep doing that. So yeah.
I love that. Now, I also want to talk about the work that you all do, which is why we're here today, to learn about all your services, and you mentioned the mobile services as well, so I want to dive right into it. Tell me what happens here in the practice and in some of the rooms that we see here today. What happens when pet owners or people bring in their pets here?
So we've designed flow such that there's never going to be 3 dogs from different families arriving at the same time. Everyone has a different arrival window and a room that they're designated towards. Nervous dogs go into the comfort room, boisterous dogs go into the dog room, cats go into the cat room. So everyone has their designated area, which helps reduce stress. So many owners find that to be so unique because they're not having to be on guard with maybe a dog aggressive or dog reactive dog. They can just have their own unique time. So when an animal comes in, particularly a dog, they go right to the scale. We have a comfortable mat on it. It's designed to not be frightening. And then into their room, a technician will come in and get their medical history, get their vitals. So we know, kind of where we're starting. And then I will go ahead in and do our physical exam. We operate with bribery, very much so. So we have every single variety of treat that we possibly can have, including for allergic dogs. So with hydrolyzed protein, it is important. And same with kitty cats. Cats are notorious for saying no thank you, and we don't have that problem here. So we have tuna puree, chicken puree, hard treats if they like that. We try to keep cat grass growing as well. So just offerings to make them comfortable and relaxed. And then that bribery helps me if I'm doing vaccines or blood draws or something like that, that they're not afraid. They're enjoying a delicious Kong full of treats or something like that. So it's really nice. That's how our visits typically work. We do all of our work in the exam room. So in the dog room, for example, we work on the floor. If there are blood draws, we perform them there. There's, the treatment room is a comfortable place, and you'll see that, but it's more comforting for the animal, we feel, to be with the owner. So we don't separate, we just proceed. And I do ask owners if they're comfortable, because sometimes people don't want to see that. So that's how a normal vaccine appointment would work. Animals that come in for surgery, there's a check-in much like before with the history and vitals and going over what the surgery will look like, what to expect, and consent forms and such. And then the animal spends the day with us in treatment. What I like about our treatment, and part of how we designed this, is that the animal's always with someone. So our treatment room isn't an area in the back. It is right next to my entire team. So we don't have nervous patients when they're here for the day, because they're really kind of always with someone, which is nice. So that's how surgeries work, and then we do discharge at the end of the day for our routine surgeries. Sick animals, when they come, we for our patients, current patients with us, we always fit them in. If there's something that's unexpected that's arisen, we'll make sure that they get seen. But often what we'll do is work them into the schedule or ask for them to drop off so that we can get started right away. And still an intake like we talked about with the history and the vitals, but then they come right back to me, and we can get to work. That's how it typically works. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I think a recurring theme that I keep going to is kind of just that comfort, as much stress-free as possible, which I love because that's very important for owners and pets. Now, you mentioned at the beginning, Dr. Susan, the kind of your motivation or your inspiration behind this kind of started with the mobile services, which you still continue to do, as you mentioned. Tell me a little bit about that. You mentioned you're from East Vail, kind of all the way down Valley. Mm-hmm. So tell me, what animals you treat and kind of what those off-site services look like.
Sure. So all animals, really. So lots of horses, they do not easily get to the vet, so we go to them. Same with cattle. So we do regulatory work for cattle. There's a lot of state required testing or certification, so we'll do those things as well. Exotic animals, so like our avian friends or our lizards, they don't like to go to the vet, so sometimes we go to them, which I like, because such a big part of my exam is seeing their habitat and seeing, I can get so much information from that. Yeah. So that's nice. And same with dogs and cats. So it's a nice, we're greeted into their home like a guest, and it's kind of fun to work that way. So we can do all of that. We show up with a mobile truck. We've got X-ray and ultrasound, laboratory, and then yes, exactly, and then pharmacy. So we can proceed just like we're at the office for a lot of those things, and then other things that we need to come back back to the office for more diagnostic tests or sending out samples. That's all very easy. So yeah, that's how that works. We just arrive and we do the same thing: history, physical examination, and then treatment. Yeah, it's fun.
I love that. For anyone, who has maybe larger animals or maybe their animals are a little more nervous to come into the vet, then, I love that you guys have that option, and that, like you said, you're kind of invited or welcomed into their space, which I think, kind of helps the entire situation. Now, one situation I want to talk about, which I know for pet owners might not be the best situation to be in, but I think it's important to mention, is an emergency situation, which, can happen unexpectedly, or even if we think we might be in an emergency situation and we're not really sure. What should we do if we think, hey, my pet might be in an emergency situation? And if they decide to bring their pet in, kind of what does an emergency visit look like? I know you touched on it briefly, but, I think it's important information to share too.
So that's a great question. So the during business hours, is, as I said, they call, they usually come in if it's a small animal because we can get to them right away. If it's a large animal, our clients are so understanding that we can call and say, hey, we have to delay and or move you to a different day. There's an emergency that's occurred. So sometimes that means an hour drive where we are, and that's something that we do, and we just roll with it as it comes. We do our very best. So during hours, or call our office, and after hours are the same thing for our office here. We only are able to offer emergency services for our patients because it's incredibly demanding, as you can imagine, and I'm one veterinarian at Current. So our patients or our clients can call our regular phone number. We have a team of veterinary technicians 24/7 that triage the call. So I find that incredible because these are very skilled people answering the phone. It's not just a call service, and they can talk through, okay, your dog ate this. This is a toxic level. You have to go in right now. Or, you're experiencing signs of an ear infection. Your dog is still eating and drinking and acting normal. You can go in tomorrow morning, and I'll let the doctor know you'll be there first thing or something. And the calls can get right through to me after they'll get history questions and see. And it's nice that I can have a little bit of information on what's going on, but the owner can talk right to their veterinarian. We have all access, even mobile, to our patients' files and medical history, so it's very easy to know what's going on and have that history. So how it works during the situation, our hospital is the same. Like the animals, we work on them coming in and feeling comfortable. We work on exactly what we need to do, if it's oxygen support or if it's radiographs, which are x-rays, like anything like that we could do right away. Our blood work is right in hospital, which is quite nice. So we can do really advanced testing very, very quickly in the matter of minutes, which I think is important because often with an emergency, it all has to happen now. So yeah, depending on that's typically how we work, and we try to just do our very best. We're always communicating with the owner so that they know exactly what's going on. Sometimes I have owners in treatment with me, so it just depends on what the animal needs. But yeah, we try to do our absolute best. I have had large animal emergencies show up here, yeah, and I've had llama emergencies in our backyard, and a darling piggy in our backyard. Like it depends, but we do exactly as much as we can at the moment. So yeah, it depends.
I love how attentive you all are to the situation of each pet and what they might be going through, whether it's an emergency or just any type of care. And speaking of that, I know people, might be interested in coming in and seeing you guys or getting in touch with you all. How can folks learn more or get in touch with you if they want to bring in their pets?
Great question. So we are here to help. Our phone number is just calling us. It's a great way to get a hold of us. We're 524-1122. Our website has a really nice area where you can submit questions, and it's onsitevet.com, just no hyphen, onsitevet.com, and then we're on social media a lot, so that's a cool place to see like what we do and see us in action, because we have the best job, so it's fun to share it. So those are good ways to get a hold of us. We encourage people to come anytime and stop in. Oftentimes people will they want to see what it's like. They've heard about us. We'll just come in, we'll show you around. Yeah, so we always welcome that. So yeah, that's kind of it. Just check us out, get a hold of us. Yeah.
And Dr. Susan was telling me off camera that they also do have a Spanish-speaking staff member who can, kind of help for anyone who might need a Spanish-speaking person. And they're working also on their website, which will soon be in Spanish. So I love that. Anyone is welcome here. So if you want to come in, bring in your pets, check out their website, give them a call, or stop in here in Eagle and check out on-site veterinary services. Dr. Susan, thank you so much for being here with us today and sharing a little bit about all the wonderful work that you all do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back with more of the show.